The most explosive testimony yet in the corruption trial of Corrine Brown. Her former chief of staff took the stand and told the jury Brown was in complete control of where the money went. What's more, he said, he'd been giving her blank checks to cash since 1993, a year after she was first elected to Congress. Joy Purdy and Jim Piggott are joining us live from the federal courthouse with how Simmons outlined the workings of this scheme. We begin with Joy.
Tom, I keep looking over my shoulder because they've been right on time pretty much every day. Court usually ends at about 5 o'clock. They'll be leaving the federal courthouse momentarily. We do understand we were supposed to hear from another charity, the Community Rehabilitation Center, that charity run by City Councilman Reggie Gaffney. We'll be hearing from that charity as well as others, if not today, tomorrow. Within the last 90 minutes, Ronnie Simmons, the headliner of this entire trial, finished his testimony on the stand against Corrine Brown. But just how damaging was he? Remember, he is an admitted liar. He lied to the FBI. He lied to Corrine Brown's attorney during this whole process. And he's also convicted of assault, the assault of an ex-girlfriend. Joining me on the other side of the federal courthouse is Jim Piggott, who's been inside the courtroom all day long. Jim, you saw Ronnie Simmons on the stand. Did he seem convincing?
He did. He seemed very confident, and that was the thing. He came out with the answers, was able to answer every question by attorneys from both sides, both the prosecutor and Corrine Brown's attorneys as well. And he was on there for a long time. He was there through most of the day and just finished up. Now, and as you had mentioned, he wouldn't talk to us coming out of the courtroom, but his attorney did talk to me. Anthony Suarez basically said that what happened here, this was a way of doing business. It was an understanding between the councilwoman and Ronnie Simmons, and that she knew everything that was going on. We're going to hear more from him at 6 o'clock. But here's what happened today. Ronnie Simmons kept his mouth shut when he arrived at court. How do you feel about Corrine Brown? I mean, she's saying you turned on her. You're the mastermind behind everything. He may not have talked then, but he said plenty in the courtroom. During testimony, he said when FBI agents showed up at his door last year, it all came crashing down. He said it was an aha moment. I knew we had a problem. Simmons says Corrine Brown asked him to make the first withdrawal from One Door less than a week after the very first donor check came in. Then he said Brown's orders came in droves, from cash to her hand to deposits to her account, to checks that he mailed to Jacksonville, which the FBI testified still made its way back to Brown. Simmons admitted he controlled the One Door account, holding the debit card and the checks. Prosecutor Tyson Duva followed up. Why didn't you write her a check from the One Door account? Simmons answered, that would have been too obvious. Simmons said One Door was not the beginning of the money trail. He said as far back as 1993, he had given the Congresswoman blank checks from the Friends of Corrine Brown campaign fund. He said on paper, he wasn't the campaign treasurer, but he would sign the checks and give them to Brown. He was asked, why didn't you tell her that you won't do that? Simmons said, you just don't do that. The prosecutor asked, would employees tell her no? Simmons said, no, I don't know what would have happened. No one did. And it was at that point that Corrine Brown smiled and appeared to be laughing. For the rest of the testimony, she sat still, took a few notes, and watched closely. So they're still inside wrapping up for the day. We understand that former Sheriff Nat Glover could be one of the people called today. That will probably be tomorrow. The prosecution, at least at this point, hasn't rested yet. We're live at the federal courthouse. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station. Joy?
All right, Jim, thank you. Just taking another look as I see a few people leaving the federal courthouse right now. Something I wanted to mention, shortly after we published this story on news4jax.com, there was an interesting comment that was placed on there, a comment coming from Ronnie Simmons' ex-girlfriend, the very one he's convicted of assaulting. She wrote, quote, he lied. I have heard him yell, scream, and cuss at her, presumably Corrine Brown. He usually didn't say no. That's BS. He said it just as often as yes, end quote. Simmons was convicted of assault against her, giving him a criminal record even before this whole One Door Corrine Brown scandal started. Coming up at 6 o'clock, Lindsay Gardner will be joining us live. She's going to be talking about a look ahead, taking a look at Corrine Brown's defense, and will they be able to recover from so many days of damaging testimony. For now, we are live outside the federal courthouse. I'm going to send it back to Tom and Mary.
Joy, thank you. We've been updating today's top story on the Corrine Brown trial on news4jax.com. You can also read Ronnie Simmons' plea agreement and a breakdown of what the government describes as the money trail.